Welcome to Born for this Race. I'm your host, Mandeep. Today, we have two special guests, Kevin from Modern Edge and Gabe. They both are recently, I won't say recently, but Stanford graduated and helping commercial contractors in the trades. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Mandeep.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Awesome. How is everything going at the event, epic event?
Oh, it's been great. We came here kind of last minute. We booked our tickets last week because we had heard about it, and
Right.
it's been one of the best events we've been to this year. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. And is it your first podcast in the trades?
It is our second podcast in the
Second
trades.
podcast.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the event, Gabe?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's definitely the most engaged crowd that we've encountered. Everyone's super lively and approachable and very receptive to our message,
Receptive to
which has
your
been
message.
great. So we've really enjoyed our time so far.
That's awesome. Do you guys see yourself being part of these more events in 2026 and beyond?
Oh, absolutely. I think we would love to be speakers at these events and sort
Right.
of Gabe and I, we studied computer science at Stanford. We know AI pretty well, so
Right.
we want to help bridge that educational gap with the trades because it is so big, right?
Right. That's amazing. But still I need to know more. Why trades? Graduated from Stanford. Why you guys chose trades, which is home service industry, and especially commercial, which is pretty hard to drive leads. So just need to know what's the thought process behind it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it's sort of two parts. The first is Gabe and I started doing AI sort of strategy consulting projects for construction firms, real estate firms,
Right.
and we kind of fell into this space a little bit by accident,
Okay.
just because there was so much reception and people were interested in kind of hearing us out.
Right.
Whereas in other industries, they have internal engineering teams, internal IT teams,
Right.
and they don't really need to hire an outside consultant, right?
Right.
And then the other part is more personal. My uncle runs a construction company, commercially focused, and so I've kind of grown up around this space, and it's always sort of been something I've been interested in and wanted to understand more deeply because it is such a large industry and it really makes up the backbone of this country.
Love that. Love that. And it's multi-billion-dollar industry and a lot to provide value. When it comes to a lot of IT, AI, digital marketing. And Gabe, do you have any background in the trades?
No background in the trade. So at Stanford, I studied computer science and product design.
Right.
I was a double major. Got out, worked at Google, worked at Autodesk, and yeah, came from a very tech heavy background. I mean, kind of how we complement each other. I'm very technically focused. Kevin's more on the business side. So yeah, the trades were new to me, but it's been a great experience. And you evolve in the environment that you're in.
Love it, love it. Can't wait to see you guys crush it in the trades. And what a great combination, technical and I know you are technical too, but CTO and you bring your business knowledge right
Yeah.
there. I think it's it's a
absolutely.
great combination.
Yeah.
I know you guys were telling me yesterday that you guys have bootstrap
Yes.
this business. So how do you see bootstrapping to profitability and growth, everything on your own?
Well, I think Gabe and I both came into building this business with a very similar mindset. From Stanford, there's kind of disproportionate almost incentive to raise outside capital.
Right.
And it feels like everyone is raising millions of dollars from venture capital firms in Silicon Valley. And,
Right.
Ultimately that leads to dilution. It leads to oversight, unnecessary oversight, and a lot of potential hassles, right? With having
Right.
investors, having a board. So Gabe and I were we don't really want to do that. We want to build a sustainable, profitable business from day one and
Right.
just build it for ourselves and our families and in our future, right?
Right.
So we came into this with that mindset, and we've had investors but we've had a lot of interest from investors, right? So
Right.
the opportunity is there for us to raise capital, but we've kind of decided that it's the best to keep bootstrapping this.
Bootstrapping.
Yeah, I don't know. Gabe, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think for us, it's really about flexibility and freedom, and just we didn't need it.
Right.
I think at the end of the day, it would have been an unnecessary sort of um, what would you say, burden. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I think bootstrapping makes you a better entrepreneur because it makes you more resourceful, more scrappy.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know, we can afford to buy a booth here, but we choose not to because we found it's
Just
more
smart.
effective to just walk around speaking to people like you,
Right.
speaking to people on the floor, and actually we get more leads out of doing that than having a booth. So
I love that.
if we raised outside capital, we would have always assumed getting a booth is like the standard thing to do.
Right. Definitely, you'll get there. You guys will have your own booth, right? Once you start like growing. And when I met you, I think end of the day yesterday, and you mentioned that you got like decent amount of leads, which is like booked right there by just like networking, not having booth. I think it's smart to bootstrap. This is what I did for my all ventures, 4 of them, and that's what like Gary Vee he always like talks about. Start small, keep providing value. Jab, jab, jab. I don't know if you have read that book. Like whoever
yeah.
is going to stay close to customer is going to win
Right.
by providing like value.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right, exactly.
great. Good stuff when it comes to bootstrapping. I'm very happy to hear that. And when it comes to like most contractors, they are heavily actually looking at lead gen from different marketing initiatives and relationships and like other bidding platforms. Uh, when it comes to your AI driven email marketing, I think it's very underutilized. Why did you think that AI driven email marketing is going to be beneficial for commercial contractors?
So 2 things. I think number one, AI can never replace humans, but it can accelerate their capabilities, right?
Love that. Yeah.
So as a human, I can send like 10 personalized emails,
Right.
and it can be very effective. And in the world of like digital marketing, being
Right.
personal in your email copies is like the key. So I can write 10 a day, maybe at most. Using AI, you can write thousands a day.
Thousands.
So that was our thinking about how to integrate AI into this existing workflow.
Right.
And then number 2, I think our secret sauce is really in the data of the
Data.
leads, the quality of the leads, I should say, in terms of the data. So a lot of lead gen agencies, and I don't like calling ourselves that. We were an AI company, but a lot of lead gen agencies use public databases like ZoomInfo, Apollo, Clay.
Yes. Yeah.
You can imagine any marketing department with a budget can purchase those leads
Right.
and send emails, right? So
Right. That's what other agencies are doing.
exactly. I mean, the person on the other side is being bombarded by all the other marketing
Right.
departments,
Yeah.
and oftentimes it's going to spam.
Right.
So I think the spam rate is like hovers at like 50%. So it's
Pretty high.
it's kind of like spray and pray. Whereas what we do is we use AI to generate our own leads,
Right.
because a lot of these a lot of these local business owners, a lot of property managers, their emails aren't publicly listed. So what we do is we use AI and say, okay, your name is Mandeep Bala.
Right.
Maybe your email is mandeep.bala. Maybe it's bala.mandeep, and we keep guessing.
Or maybe first name, add domain, right?
So exactly.
Yeah.
So we keep guessing different permutations of that name and try to match it to an email. And those are the leads. That's the database that we're working with. It's like it's almost proprietary. It's like you're not going to find those leads online. And so as a result, our deliverability is 99.8%.
Oh, love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So our emails aren't ending up in their spam. Every email is personalized. And so that's why in 2026,
Right.
email marketing is still very effective using
effective.
AI.
Hey everyone, before we dive back into today's episode, I want to take a moment to shout out our incredible sponsors who are helping home service businesses absolutely level up. First up, Broccoli AI over at broccoli.com. If you haven't heard of them yet, Broccoli is transforming how home service businesses handle their calls. Their AI voice agents answer phones 24/7, yes, even nights and weekends, booking jobs, following up on estimates, and even dispatching technicians for emergencies. Imagine never missing another lead because your office was closed. Broccoli seamlessly integrates with platforms like Service Titan, and you can even choose custom AI voices that match your brand's vibe. It's like having your own team of superstar virtual receptionists working around the clock. Check them out today at broccoli.com. And of course, we can't forget Grow Reviews at growreviews.com. We help home service companies collect authentic video testimonials from happy customers, the kind of social proof that builds massive trust and brings in new business. We make it super easy to capture and showcase those real smiling faces that prove your team is the best in the biz. If you're ready to grow your reputation and your bottom line, head to growreviews.com. Now, back to the episode. Love that, love that. And I know you are more towards like, B2B, not B2C. And
Right. Yeah.
when it comes to like, B2B, I'm sure like, there must be a lot of challenges because when it comes to B2C, you can get the database, you can start like, sending emails. What are the challenges that you have seen B2C versus B2B because you are sending to managers or VPs or like, higher department, right? So what are the challenges you have seen?
We started doing commercial just because I think it's a more underserved segment. We are getting into the residential space, but there are a lot more hurdles you have to jump through, especially when it comes to regulatory hurdles, right? Because like there are some things on that side, litigation wise, right?
Right.
But on the commercial side, it's actually like it's been very effective in terms of reaching out to these higher level like property managers or business owners. I mean, I think it really all comes down to the email copy itself and how personalized you make it. Because those guys are getting, they're getting a lot of emails every day. Their inboxes are flooded. So like, how do you stand out, right?
Right.
A lot of it comes in the subject line.
Subject line plays a big role.
Exactly. So for example, like our subject lines, we keep it kind of mysterious, a little bit intriguing.
Do you want to give any example? Just maybe a couple of them, like how it looks like?
Sure,
I'm curious.
sure. Like an example would be if we're targeting a business owner, maybe the subject line would say "walked past your business" or like "saw your business" or talk to one of your customers, something like that, right? To get them to open it.
Right.
So that, Gabe, if you have anything you want to add.
Yeah, and I think a big thing with the email content, it's something that we spend a lot of time structuring, is that you don't want to come across as salesy. Like we're not sending over brochures via email. We make sure intentionally to avoid, being marked as spam, that there's no mention of pricing. There's no dollar signs in the email because that does trip up spam filters, especially like with Gmail because Gmail does have very strict filters, right? So our first email that we send out appears as like a real person, essentially. It's just, here's my name. I'm interested in your business. I do this, want to hop on a call, want to talk to me. And then at a later point, that's when our clients can actually, inject about my pricing, my location, my services, more sales related information.
That's amazing. I think if you go just like, straight for the kill, right, it doesn't work. Like, it really turns off. And if you are not being like salesy, providing value, and I think people like it, that's their, you win. Yeah. You want to add something?
And I mean, even like being out here, right? It's about building rapport. So I think that's kind of what we try to do. We try to make the human connection first before we, try to close a deal, right?
Love that. Awesome. Good stuff. And I always ask these questions. I think I'm going to ask you guys as well. What's the best advice you have got so far that changed your life?
So very recent, actually. I mean, I think it's advice that Gabe and I have both been following, but I think it's a quote that I read by Tony Robbins, and it goes. I'm trying to remember the exact wording. Okay, I got it.
Okay, yeah.
So the exact wording is, people think they lack resources, but the only resource they lack is resourcefulness.
Love that.
So that, what does that mean, right? That means you can have all the resources in the world. You can have all the, venture capital funding. You can have the best engineers, X, Y, Z. But if you don't have that resourceful mindset to take advantage of what you have, and what you think you don't have, but you really do have, like, you're not going to be successful.
Love
so
that.
Again, it goes to the bootstrapping mindset of like being scrappy and really using what you have at your disposal.
This is amazing. Thanks for sharing. Gabe, I want to ask you as well.
Oh man, I don't know actually. I try not to like live by quotes, but that is a great one.
Any worst advice you got?
The worst advice. Oh man, I think there's so many horrible pieces of advice that people have given us. I think in general, when you're starting a company, you have to filter out advice based on the perspective of the person that's giving it to you. So
Right.
people who are in VC-backed companies will oftentimes try to pressure you or push you to get
Right.
VC funding. I think a lot of times that comes from a sense of like validation. You know, they don't want to be the only ones who are doing that. They want to be on the same path as you. So I think you really have to understand what your goals are when you're listening, when you're receiving advice, at least. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. And one more question, and then we're gonna wrap up. And so, Kevin, like, I would say, what's your favorite book that changed your overall perspective?
It's taught by a Stanford professor at the business school. It's called the Seven Rules of Power, or sorry, Seven Laws of Power.
Right.
One of those, I forgot the exact name, but basically it talks about. It sounds kind of insidious, but it's really not. Like it just talks about what are the different characteristics and
Right.
skills you need to develop in order to like, you know, to win in business, but
Right.
even beyond business, just to like build relationships that play to your benefit, right?
Yeah.
So it teaches you. One example I like to live by is always try to give in a way that is almost beneficial to you, right?
Right.
Indirectly. So if I meet someone who might want to use your services, right, I'm going to connect them with you because
Right.
you're my friend. I know you're a nice guy.
Right.
But that also builds our relationship even more
Right.
because I've brought you
100%.
value indirectly. So that's that's like an example
Love
of what
it.
he talks about.
Love it, love it. So I know, like, a lot of contractors, those who are listening or watching to this podcast, they might be curious to reach out to you guys at Modern Edge. What's the best way to connect to get a demo from you guys?
Sure. Yeah, our website is modernedge.io. And then you can go on our website, check out some testimonials, look at a video, and then book a call directly from there. But yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we will link everything in the description so that you guys can book demo straight from there. And I want to thank you to our sponsor, Broccoli Grow Reviews. Thank you for the amazing support and love. And thanks to EGIA for setting up this amazing event here. And again, thank you, Kevin and Gabe. It was my pleasure to have you on my show.
Thank you, Mandeep.